Huge success, obviously, for Jamaica because they've been in stinky form, to use your phraseology, picking up losses against the likes of, I think it's Canada, Japan, got stuffed 7-0 by France. So, yeah, this is somewhat of a renaissance for Jamaica, and we're actually going to find out a little bit more about their performance, both in the final and the tournament as a whole now, by speaking to our Caribbean football expert, Nathan Carr. Nathan, are you there?
I am indeed. Good evening. How are you?
Very good, thanks. Thank you so much for coming back on. Really enjoyed your preview last time. And now it's time to put R and E ahead of that because it's review time. How did Jamaica get on? I mean, do you think they deserve to actually win this tournament as a whole, or were they slightly fortuitous?
No, I think probably on the whole they deserve to win. It's their 6th title in the Caribbean Cup, and I'd say, yeah, you know, in a nutshell, it was probably deserved. They actually didn't start off that well. The opening group game was a draw with Martinique, and it wasn't the best start, but they did pick up some form, and they made comfortable work of beating Antigua in the second game 3-0, and then Haiti in the last game 2-0. And obviously that ensured progression to the final, which was played last night. Really interesting game. It finished 0-0, not the classic 0-0 in full time and extra time. Then it went to penalties, and Jamaica won 4-3 in the shootout. So against Trinidad and Tobago, and obviously that secured the title for them. And you know, there was a lot of pressure on them. They were the hosts. Winfried Schaffer, the German boss. He said before the tournament that he expected them to win it. The fans were very expectant, and they can have a deep breath now, a sigh of relief because they've done it, and they've they'll be in the Gold Cup next year, as well as the 2016 Copa America as well, which is like a special one-off event to be held in the USA in 2016.
Yeah. That is the one you want to be in, the big 100.
Yeah.
Trinidad and Tobago seemed to me at slightly disadvantage in the fact that they had some quite sort of internal explosions. Not a dietary issue, but in terms of finances. I mean, what exactly happened there? And do you think that affected the result at all?
Yeah, you say financial issues. Basically what happened was the final was boycotted by them in the morning, or they said they were going to boycott it. And then several hours later, they changed their minds and the players said that they'd play. What it stems from is basically a large sum of money still hasn't been paid by the TTFA, which is the country's federation, and paid to the players. And when I say large sum of money, it's approximately, according to reports, about $3 million, and that includes match fees, unpaid salaries, bonuses, and the government and Ministry of Sport have had to step in and to try and resolve matters, and give them the money that they need. The coach Stephen Hart hasn't been paid for 8 months, and not been paid for his Caribbean Cup work as well. And Cameron Jones has came out and said the situation is dire. We want change. Everyone's fed up and tired of it, and it's to say it's a bit of a mess is an understatement.
Yeah, that is a bit of a grim and a bit of a negative aspect on the tournament, which has generally been well received, it seems to me. Would you agree with that? There's the actual standard of football. Were you pleased with it? Were you impressed?
Yeah, I thought it was probably one of the best, if not the Caribbean Cups since its creation. So many good players, all over the world. When we talked about in the preview about the international FIFA dates and how that's helped various countries in bringing in players from overseas, even smaller nations like Curacao and French Guyana, they pick strong squads for the tournament. And Sportsmax TV, based in the Caribbean, they did excellently in their coverage, TV coverage of streaming games and providing highlights. So, all in all, I thought it was a very good tournament, ran very well, and good some good football on offer.
At last, thank you. We've got some positives. We've been talking about FIFA and the African Cup of Nations earlier, so we feel rejuvenated now to hear that one tournament has executed itself very impressively indeed. We've spoken a little bit about teams there, but what about individuals? Who were the real stars and standout players for you?
Yeah, sure. There's a few that really caught my eye. Kevin Molino of Trinidad and Tobago, he's really blossoming at the moment. He headed into this with a record-breaking season at Orlando City. in the US, and he carried on that form. He's a number 10 attacking midfielder, really, really lively, technically very good, and he scored 3 goals in the group stage. And another player that caught my eye was Emmanuel Saki, who's an interesting one for Haiti, and he's a former Chelsea academy player. I think he played out 1 game maybe for them, or was on the bench for a senior game, and he plays in Poland with Wisla Krakow at the moment, and he's playing as right winger, very, very quick, good final ball, and I think he got 2 or 3 assists as well. So those 2 were probably the key standouts.
Excellent. Well, we're going to leave it there, Nathan, but thank you so much for your coverage, not just coming on our show, but we've really enjoyed following your blog and your Twitter feed, which is just an exemplary case of coverage in Caribbean football. We really enjoyed it, and we'll certainly catch up with you soon for the Copa America. We'll see how the Caribbean teams get on. Until then, goodbye.